Wednesday night under the lights with no relegation worries. The joys. Crystal Palace match preview. Welcome back to another video on the channel, Newcastle fans. The fixtures are coming thick and fast. Another midweek game, a couple of days after that fantastic bank holiday game. If you are new to the channel, you've just stumbled across Black and White Banter on YouTube today, make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe. Get us on Facebook and Instagram as well, where on there the content is never serious, but it's always Newcastle United. So, midweek match, another one. They're coming thick and fast. We had all them away games off the belt. We've now got all these home games off the belt. It's fantastic. St James's Park now is a pleasure to be in. Absolute pleasure to be in that stadium. Atmosphere is its best it's been since I can remember from the Bobby Robson days. Honestly, that's how good I think it is now. Maybe, Benitez, we had some good times, but it's just that optimism without Mike Ashley. The atmosphere is incredible. Obviously, War Flags, huge shout out to you guys for that. And we're on the back of another win. And it's pretty much safety time now. So we are safe. I'm going to say it. I've been worried about making that statement on previous videos in case it bit me on the arse. We are safe from relegation. There is no way that a Sean Dyche-less Burnley, fucking idiots, are going to pick up the points needed to stay up. If they do, then it'll be a miraculous, crazy thing. But I still fancy us to get some points in the meantime. So that would be on the assumption that we got none. So I think we're safe. And we can look forward to games like the game on Wednesday night against Crystal Palace. They aren't really playing for much neither. So it's one of them sorts of games now that our mentality as players is going to shift a little bit. I don't expect Eddie Howe, regardless of what he says in these press conferences, to be keeping that pressure on them from a relegation point of view. We're still not safe. He's not an idiot. He will start to be feeling a little bit more relaxed. He'll make sure they are putting a show on and still grafting their bollocks off every game because he's that sort of manager. But it's a different type of atmosphere now. And I'm sure that's the same on the training ground. Crystal Palace, not easy opposition by any means. I think Patrick Vieira's gone massively under the radar for them with the job he's done. If that had been your Gerrards, if that had been your, some of your other bigger players who've come in and, I don't know, maybe a little bit more under the eye like Steven Gerrard was when he went to Villa. Patrick Vieira has got about his business in the background and they look a solid team this season. Pretty hard to beat. And yes, they've got players that can do us damage. There's one name, I'm not a big fan of the bloke in terms of watching him, his attitude when he's on the pitch. He does my head in, Wilfred Zaha. Fantastic footballer on his day. He can do things with the football that not many in the Premier League can't. He's a little bit like St Maximin in that sense with his dribbling ability. And we all been talking about how good Emil Kraft's been for us in recent games. If Emil Kraft is to start on Wednesday, which you assume he would, this is a big test for him. I remember Manquillo a couple of years ago when we beat Palace 1-0 and Almiron scored his first goal. Manquillo had Zaha in his pocket that day. So can Kraft really keep their main attacking threat quiet? Well, we'll see, because he's done nothing but good things in the past 3 or 4 matches. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. And I think if you keep Wilfred Zaha quiet, that's a big part of their game. And then don't even get me started on Conor Gallagher. I would take Conor Gallagher at Newcastle in our central midfield. I would. Is he better than Willock? I would say maybe so, just a little bit based off the amount of game time I've seen him play this year. He's in the England squad. He looks a player. He does look a good player. So he's a central area. Joe Linton's going to have to be on his game. And I've got no doubt if Joe Linton puts a job on Gallagher, if there's one man at the moment in the Premier League who, when he wants to, can really graft his bollocks off and keep someone quiet, it's Big Joey. So there's another area that I'm hoping we can sort of stifle them a little bit. If you keep Zaha quiet, you keep Gallagher quiet, that's a big part of their attacking threat gone. Are we capable of scoring goals at the other end against Crystal Palace? Of course we are. Do I expect us to win on Wednesday? Yes. The freedom is going to start coming into play. I think Bruno is looking better and better every game. We don't need to touch on what he did against Leicester on Sunday. We all know how fucking fantastic he was with his magic hat. So that's another area of the field now that I'm excited to see develop more and more and more. I think we all want to see Chris Wood score more goals. I do. He didn't really get too many chances on Saturday. We didn't as a team. So it'd be nice to see him back on the score sheet. But again, it's just a case of, I'd like to think Wednesday's game will be better than the Leicester game. The Leicester game was poor. Yes, we got the fantastic win in injury time that was all that mattered in the end, but the general game and the chances we created wasn't the best. So Alan St-Maximin, for me, didn't have a very good game against Leicester. He's decision-making and he's control of the ball and he's keeping possession with poor. So I'd like to hope he plays a little bit better against Crystal Palace. And every single time we get a win, there's less pressure going into that next match. And I think we're getting to that point now, slowly but surely. But I'm confident. I want to see more from Bruno. I want to see, hopefully, a little bit more from Almiron. I've been his biggest critic. I'll always be quite a big critic of Almiron in terms of quality in the final third with that assist or goal or what have you. But he did look better in the last 2 matches when he's played. He's looked better. So more of that, please, Miggy. Again, like I said, a little bit more from St-Maximin. I see John Joe Shelby's been saying great things in the week, how much he loves it at Newcastle. He's becoming integral for me to Eddie Howe's system. Him in the middle, we look better with him, and the stats prove that. So more of the same from him. I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win. I really am. I fancy us to score goals. That freedom's only going to allow creative players like Bruno and Maximin to be given that encouragement to go a little bit further, to try a couple more things. And the feel-good factor's going to be in the stadium. We all know what the atmosphere is like under the lights. And I fancy us to just pull away a little bit more. We've got Norwich on Saturday. We can go there full of confidence. Norwich leaking goals left, right and centre. One of the worst teams in the league. Who knows where we could finish? I'm genuinely confident we can look closer at the top 10 than the bottom 3. And that's, if you told me that in January, I would have absolutely shit my pants and called you an absolute deluded wanker. Pardon the French. So yeah, if you told me that earlier in the year, the job Eddie Howe has done, I keep saying it, is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. Yes, the orders have come in. Yes, money was spent. But he is the man who has turned around that current group of players, added to it smartly, and done wonders on the training ground, and I love the man for it. If you are new to the channel, as I said, Newcastle fans, get in the comments. I want to know what you think the score is going to be, who you think might score first, and whether you see us, like I say, looking a bit further up the table or just sitting where we are. Let us know if you're at the match. I'm not at the match. I'm actually travelling tomorrow night to Vegas. Viva Las Vegas! With the lads, so I'm going to be out of action tomorrow night, unfortunately, but I will be watching in the house just before I leave for the airport and on my phone, if I'm allowed to say that. Legally. So make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe. Every new follower on YouTube we get is appreciated, and get us on Facebook and Instagram as well. And fingers crossed, this time tomorrow night, that league table, we are going to be looking right up at that top 4. Like, yeah, we're coming for you in a couple of years. How are the fucking lads?